All right, what's going on, YouTube? It's been a while. It's been a while, but I'm doing okay. I hope everyone is doing okay during this pandemic. I hope. Just want to say, anyone that's lost any family, friends, close ones, my condolences. I've definitely lost a couple of relatives throughout this time. Okay, things seem to be getting a little better. Things are probably going to be back to normal maybe within the next few months, but they're going to be slowly opening things back up here in America. I'm in New York. We definitely got hit the hardest out of everyone. But listen, I just hope everyone is doing well out there. I know people are going through all kind of things, as far as their businesses, their employment. You know, um, I mean, everybody's being affected by this in some kind of way. All right, so I hope you all are doing well. Um, and I apologize for the break. Sometimes it's needed for me to take a break from YouTube and social media and stuff like that and focus on the things that are important outside of this. Not saying that this isn't important, but it's necessary for me to take breaks. Sometimes I try not to, but and I feel that I'm needed on this boxing in this boxing community. So I feel bad when I am absent because it's not that many quality YouTube channels out there when it comes to boxing. This community, and I engage in a lot of different communities on YouTube. But something about the boxing community is it's become something else. And I personally, I'm not that much of a fan of the community. I love the sport, but the actual YouTube community, I'm not that much of a fan. There are channels out there that I love and respect, but there's many, many more that I don't like. All right. Um, but anyway, the sport, and I'm gonna make a lot of videos. I'm gonna make more videos because there's a lot of things that I want to discuss. But the sport itself, I'm very worried about the sport. We recently got news on DAZN and how they're pretty much broke at this point. Okay, the problem with DAZN from day one is that they they came out very aggressive. Their business module is very, very aggressive. Uh, they came out throwing a lot of money in order to get boxers in. Similar to how Rock Nation did years back. Okay, they threw a lot of money in order to invest in their fighters. And the timing it seemed to be good because HBO was, parting ways from the sport, and the zone came in and picked up a lot of these fighters, which was smart. The problem is the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. It came out of nowhere, and no one was expecting this. This hasn't happened before, and everything was shut down. And unfortunately for DAZN, unlike ESPN, unlike the PBC and Fox and Showtime, DAZN is a strictly streaming sporting service only. Okay, mainly boxing. You have MMA as well, Bellator, but This is new. This is something new, and it's fully sports based. ESPN has been around for years. It's a channel. It's gonna always have stuff going on. I mean, everyone is losing money in a way, but the zone is something that's new and it's subscriber based only. And the thing when it comes to this, there were already people that weren't even paying month to basis. I'm still paying because I'm grandfathered into the 9.99 payment. I still am paying 9.99. I mean, I actually checked like 2 days ago. So I'm gonna stay on there as long as it's 9.99, even though I haven't used the app in a couple of months. Uh, I'm still gonna stay in there because I'm paying 9.99. But the deal is just too good, and the value of the fighters, it's just too good for the customers, and it hasn't proven even before the pandemic, it didn't really prove that they're making earnings here. You know, they're losing more money. And sometimes when you're starting a business, you have to lose some in the beginning to gain some. All right, but the pandemic, it just totally shut it down. And then when boxing does return, it's gonna pretty much start from scratch, because everybody is gonna, people are going through things as it is. People have lost their jobs. People are not getting paid right now. People are struggling financially, except essential workers. I know people are getting unemployment, and they're getting government funding and stuff like that. I get it. But right now, paying a subscription for a sporting service is not in demand right now, because we're not seeing any sports. So the zone, it seems like it's a possibility it may even be sold. But even if it is sold, it's not proven to be a working business for now. Okay, it's not. I want the zone to win. I want all of these boxing networks or services to win. I've never been a channel that, you have a lot of pro PBC guys, you have a lot of pro top rank ESPN or the zone people. I never been like that. I just kind of want the best for the sport. Obviously I have issues with fights not happening, fights that we need to happen, like a Terrence Crawford against Errol Spence, fights like that. I've always had problems with the networks being in the way of fights that we need to see, fights that we need to have, right? So I've always had that issue. But listen, if they can make it work, then I wouldn't care for the differences in networks and stuff like that. I wouldn't care about that, right? But I want all of these to win. I like the zone as a service for me. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think any of them are. But, I support all of them. I support all of them. I go to the fights. You guys know, even sometimes I just feel like that's my way of giving back to the sport, is when I subscribe to these and go to the fights, even when the fights are not so great. I know the last card that I went to was the Charlo card in December. And I can't remember the name. The junior middleweight guy he fought. I wasn't a fan of the fight at all, but I wanted to support him. Just like I remember when I went out to LA to watch Triple G against Dominic Wade. That's not a fight that I really want to see, but these are two different sides that I support, just because that's my way of giving back to the sport. So if I could pick up some good tickets, I took my little niece to the Jamal Charlo fight. That was her first boxing match that she ever went to. I try to support the sport in different ways and give back. And that's just the way I do. I buy certain pay-per-views and stuff like that. But I just don't know where the sport is gonna go. And on top of the DAZN thing, you also have, like, even the other networks. You got, other fights that, because they're starting to give us dates again. And what's gonna happen with the arenas? I know I'm not in a rush to go to any live fights right now. I'm holding back. I'm chilling out for a while. I don't really want to be any large groups of people or anything like that. Even like little stuff like going to a happy hour, chilling at a bar. I just don't want to be around a large group of people. If it's not family, very, very close friends with a few of us just socializing, I really don't want to be involved. So when it comes to boxing events, I don't plan on going into any boxing events this year. And, just for my safety. And it sucks because I want to support. But, it's like the Teofimo Lopez thing, and certain fighters that don't want to fight unless they're getting paid a lot, or unless they're fighting against a large group of people. Recently we just had a UFC card where there was no audience. Okay, they've been talking about that with the NBA season, possibly finishing up the NBA season without having an audience. I don't know. I feel the fighters. I feel the fighters. They want to make their money, especially if a guy like Teofimo Lopez. I'm going to talk about this in a separate video, by the way. But Lopez against Lomachenko, I feel him not wanting to fight unless he's getting paid. This is his biggest fight. He's fighting. He's a pound for pound fighter, and I see him wanting to get paid. But listen, boxing needs to get back off the ground. And at the end of the day, you're a fighter. Everybody's being affected by this in some way, and we can't be super picky right now. We can't have these crazy high standards, and you can't be demanding all this money. Everybody's going to need to get a pay cut, and if everybody is agreeing on that. Listen, if this is a pandemic, this is a time where, yo, you may not even get a check. You better be even grateful that you're even getting the check at this time, because, this, to be honest, it's not even safe to open boxing or open. It's not even safe. It's not like the numbers. People are still getting sick from this virus, and they're talking about opening things up. So I understand fighters want to get paid, but I also understand that, this sport got to get off the ground, and if it never gets off the ground because fighters don't want to fight unless they're getting paid a certain amount, or they want to fight in front of a crowd. You want to fight against in front of a crowd, but what if the crowd doesn't show up? Tickets are not going to be sold right now. And you got to understand, it's not even just because people want to stay safe. It's people can't afford it right now. There's a lot of people that are unemployed right now. There are a lot of businesses, and I said this in one of my last videos. I was speaking on this when this all started. And I said, a lot of these small businesses, not these large corporations that's been around for decades. I'm talking about these small businesses. They will never open back up. It will never be the same. These restaurants and stuff, when they open up, they could only probably have a small amount of people there eating there. They're going to have less employees there. It's just, we could go really, really deep into it. But move on a little bit. I just wanted to say, I hope one of the final videos that I did, the last videos I did, I said, listen, take advantage of the time. I know this is terrible, terrible time that we're living in, but take advantage of it, save some money. Start focusing on some of the things that you've been planning on doing, educating yourself. Because I know a lot of people are rushing to get back to their normal lives. People want to travel. People want to go out and party, drink, but I hope many of you have used the time these last couple of months to start focusing on some of the other important things that you have going on in your life. I hope you got closer to your family, your close friends, your friends. So we started saving money. Take advantage. I know I have. Definitely have. Just start looking into other things. And start looking into becoming your own boss. Especially if you're not an essential employee. And shout out to all the essential employees out there that has to keep working and going through this and working through these times. Shout out to all of you. Very, appreciate it. People that still have to go to work and risk their own safety, their own health through all of this. All right, but wake up, because things are this just proves that everything that you take for granted, it can just disappear just like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter how rich you are. You can be affected. This is $1 billion company. This DAZN. This thing it had potential to be worth billions. Now look at it. And it was already, before the pandemic, they were already struggling to make profits. So now, when you already have all these deals in store, you threw millions and millions away towards Canelo, Anthony Joshua, Triple G, and all the throwing this money around to get fighters from other networks to come and fight you on your network. No one expected it to just get shut down, because that's not something you plan for. That's not something you can plan for. Who can plan for a pandemic like this? It's no way, you can't. It's not part of the plan. You fail because you didn't make enough money. You're paying more than you're earning. Yeah, that's one thing. But who expected sports to be shut down? We were all in denial. All right, so look, there's a lot of things I want to discuss. A lot of fighters I want to discuss. For the most part, though, the kind of news and content that people have been making is not really my type of content. I'm not a gossip channel. You know, uh, all these fighters are doing a lot of calling out, knowing that they can't fight right now. We can't even get these guys to get in the ring when boxing is active. So you think I'm going to sit here and believe that these guys really want to fight each other right now? Especially these fighters in the heavyweight division and the lightweight division. A lot of talking going on, but when boxing was active, we couldn't get most of these guys in the ring. You know, for the heavyweights, the lightweights, and some of the welterweights too. I'm going to discuss all that, but you know, the kind of stuff that's been going on in the news is this gossipy social media stuff. I don't care about that. Guys ain't fighting. They just talking. They were talking before, and I didn't care. You think I'm gonna care now when they're not even actually fighting? No, I'm not gonna care. But I know you guys want to hear the content. Um, so I will be putting more content out for you guys. Again, sorry for the absence, but sometimes I personally need it, and I have other things going on outside of YouTube. And this is why I distance myself sometimes. All right, and I really apologize for that. But when I do come back, I come back strong every single time. All right. So anyway, be on the lookout for more videos. I got more content coming, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.